Shooters, welcome back to the Shooters Bay. This is D, and I'm pulling up an article real quick because we're going to talk about the Sig P320 and the Beretta APX. Let me get those mags out. Clear these bad boys real quick. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Sig P320 and the Beretta APX, and we're going to also dive into the military XM-17 trials for the next generation pistol to be used by the U.S. military. And we know the Sig P320 won the XM-17 trials, but we also know the Beretta APX was in the trials. It did not win the trials. We're going to talk about all 8 pistols that was in the XM-17 trials. And I'm going to tell you maybe the pistols I would have liked to see in the trials if it was my trial, but it wasn't. But here's the 8 pistols that was in the XM-17 trials. Starting with the Beretta M9A3, which is the gun that's a gun that I definitely want. That's a $900 gun. I can see why that one probably didn't win the trials, because the military probably, even with a discount, that gun probably would have came in too much. Even with a steep discount, because these companies was giving them, of course you're going to give military and law enforcement steep discounts because they're going to buy them in bulk. But anyway, so number 1 was the Beretta M9A3. The Beretta APX, the CZ P09 MHS, the FN509, that's another good gun. All of these are good guns, though. The Glock 19, we already know what that's all about. Smith & Wesson M&P 9, I didn't know the M&P 9 was considered for the trials, even though its name is M&P, stands for Military Police. The Spinks SDP Compact, that's a hell of a gun right there. That's a nice gun. The STI Detonics STX, I never heard of that gun. I'm going to do some research on that one. And the Sig P320, we know that is an excellent gun. So all these guns that was in the trial, me personally, if it was my trial, I would have went with the Beretta M9A3. That's a gun that I definitely want to get my hands on eventually. But let's read this. Let's read a little bit here. So the Sig P3, I'm going to read this whole thing to y'all real quick, and then we're going to dive into the meat and potatoes of the video. So the Sig P320 was one of the few truly modular designs, and it seemed well tailored for the XM-17 specifications. The serialized fire control unit is technically the firearm according to the BAF rules, and it can be swapped into small, medium, or large grip modules, and then topped with any slide barrel assembly, including those of different calibers. 940, 357 SIG, 45 ACP versions are currently available. The fire control unit can also be set to use different trigger systems, including one with integral trigger blade safety, and the trigger has a short, consistent, crisp break. That is absolutely the truth. This gun is excellent. I mean, you can just build a whole new gun right off of this fire control unit, because that is the gun, the fire control unit. That's the beauty of this gun. Same as with the APX. The fire control unit, that is your gun. Now, let me finish on. The controls are ambidextrous, and the interchangeable parts can be assembled and field stripped in the field without any tools, pulling the trigger beforehand. The Army ultimately selected full-size and compact 9mm variants in flat, dark earth with manual thumb safeties. Okay? Now, so around 2014, the P320 was adopted by some law enforcement agencies. Obviously, the Department of Defense already uses SIG, M11, and P28 pistols. To top it off, the company was rumored to sell the units to the military for just over $200 each. Now, though that might only be for the fire control units. Again, so that's still, you got to remember, the fire control unit is the gun. So if the military now they paid them $200 for each fire control unit, and then let's just say they got a slight discount on the slides and the grips, then this was a good deal for the military to get these guns, because again, the serialized portion of this gun is the entirety of the gun for the most part. So I think that played a big part in SIG winning the XM-17 military trials to become the next generation gun to replace the aging Beretta. I forget what Beretta they're using now. They're using the Beretta's old. Well, they were. The SIGs is already in place, but the Beretta, the particular Beretta they was using is an older model, and it has some issues. So maybe that's the reason why they didn't want to go with Beretta again, even though Beretta had 2 good guns in the trials. The M9A3 is an excellent gun. Really, really good gun. And the APX, from what I'm seeing about the APX, it is also a good gun. But the Sig P320 got a lot going for it. The Sig P320, if you look at the Sig P320, it's got that look, it almost got that 1911 swag to it. This is the gun that you would see in use in military applications. It's got that operator look to it, and you can do a lot with it. You can get, of course, you can get the optics. You can get the optic cut slide ready for optics. You can do it. You can actually send it out, get it milled, whatever you want to do. This is a really good gun. The trigger on it is phenomenal. Really good, solid gun. But also, the APX is a good choice, too. So there's a couple of rumors. So I just read that one article for you, but there's a couple other rumors as to why the P321. Price being one. $200 for the oil, just a touch over $200 for the fire control units. And then they, quite sure they buy this, whatever slide. They might buy a whole bunch of compact grip frames, a whole bunch of large grip frames, a whole bunch of slides in bulk and get a discount on those too. And you can put the gun together yourself. That's the beauty of a modular pistol like the P320. You can order cases of grip frames, cases of slides, and put the guns together yourself. So if you got certain guys who got smaller hands and they feel more comfortable shooting a compact, you'll have a whole case of compact frames to drop the fire control unit in. Very smart, very smart. Especially for military use, okay? Especially for military use. You can just build the guns right there. The APX is also modular in pretty much the same way as the Sig P320. But again, I do believe that again, according to rumors, the Sig was offering up a much, much, much better price and steeper discounts than everybody else. And that's why the Sig P320 won. Not just because of price, because it is a good gun. This is a next generation pistol. It's a good next generation pistol, and it was coming in at a really good price. I don't think the U.S. military could walk away from this gun for that price. Whereas Beretta, I don't think they was going to play ball and sell the fire control units for this gun for $200. I don't think so. Maybe they would have. Maybe they both offered it for the same price, and this was just a more compelling offer. Because again, like I said, the military was coming off of a Beretta. So maybe they wanted something new. The Sig, both of these guns has a rich history in armed services, whether it be at the military level, whether it be at the first responder level, like police officers, FBI, Secret Service. We know Sig is in use by all of the services. We know police officers use Berettas before. So both of these companies have a rich history of service pistols. Okay, and both of these are really nice service pistols. Both of these are really nice civilian pistols. I don't think the military would have went wrong either way, but that's pretty much it. Both of these guns are really good. I like them both. For the money now, we'll talk about the money. Sig P320s right now are hovering around $500. Right around that $500 mark. This is the X carry model. So what you have here is a compact slide on a full size frame. So you're going to get a really good grip. I have really large hands, and I can get my whole hand on this. Now this doesn't have a full size frame. This has more of a compact frame. But my hand still is on it, not like the Sig, but I still got a good grip on this. Feels really good in the hand. They both do. They both got good triggers. I think the Sig trigger is a little bit crisper. Got less take up. Got a cleaner break. Again, this is good. This is better than the Glock trigger for sure. But this right here is a step above. So again, the Sig P320 is hovering around $500. The APX price is all over the place. The APX, when it first came out, it was about $550, $600. You can get an APX now for about $350, $400 online. And your brick and mortar stores, you know how that go. You're going to pay more in the brick and mortar stores. You're probably going to be at $550 in a brick and mortar store for this gun. At that price split between buying it in a store. Now, I do advocate for buying your guns in store if you got a good store. Not all stores are good stores. if you got a good store and they treat you pretty good when you go in, and when you do order online, they don't give you a hard time. Some of these FFLs will break your balls about ordering online and sending them to their store, even though they're FFLs. That was the whole point of them getting their FFL license. But anyway, if you go into a store and they're a good store, treat you good, they got reasonable prices on things, it's okay to support them and buy a gun if it's a few dollars more than online. But when you start talking $100, $150 more than the online price, no, just buy it online and transfer it to their store, and that be the end of it. But I think both of these guns are good. You can't go wrong with either one. But for $350 online, $500 online, I gotta be honest with you, for a $150 price split, especially you can get the Leo edition of this gun for about $350. That's going to give you 3 magazines. This is the X carry. This comes with 3 magazines, but all the Sig models, you can probably get a Leo edition of all the variants of this with 3 magazines, but I don't know what that would cost you. But I know this one was about $535 because it is the X carry. You're getting that bigger frame and the extra magazine. Also, night sights. You get night sights on this. So this is a great deal. This is a great deal. This is a fantastic deal for under $400. It doesn't have the night sights, but it's got really good sights that are easy to pick up. It's got a really unique look to it, and the 3 mags. So that's my little take, my little Sig P320 versus the Beretta APX, the German-made Sig P320 against the Italian-made Beretta APX. Now, if they're made in those countries, I don't know, they could be made here, but that's where the parent companies come from, so that's what I call them. Germany versus Italy. Which one do you prefer? I like them both. So this is D. We just wanted to take a look at the military XM-17 trials, 2 of the contenders, and why this one won. Believe me, guys, price was definitely not the only reason why this gun was picked. I think it was picked because it was a good gun and it had a good price. So, I'll see you in the next video.